folks, it's Uncle Jimbo, and you may have noticed we dedicate Blackfive TV to Captain Travis Patriquin and Sheikh Sattar Abu Risha. In this episode, we're going to look at Captain Patriquin's contributions to the Anbar Awakening, and the successes we've seen over the course of this year as a result of those efforts. In a better world than this, Captain Travis Patriquin's PowerPoint presentation would be more famous than Al Gore's. It has the tremendous advantage of being true, as well as timely and compelling in its simplicity. It comes across as a man who had to explain the same concept to so many people that he stripped it down to stick-figure level and defied you to not get it. The Anbar Awakening was born from the efforts and sacrifices of many, but Captain Patriquin holds a seat at the founders' table. An accomplished special operator with the most valuable skills in counterinsurgency, language, and culture, you cannot overestimate the value of communicating with people in their own tongue, and of knowing how their culture will affect their actions and attitudes. The bombing of the Golden Mosque in Samarra was Al-Qaeda and the Sunni insurgency's greatest triumph. It created a civil war and ensured that the Sunnis would not trust the Shia-dominated central government, as it did nothing to curb Shia militia death squads. Times were grim, and it was clear to many that our strategy of establishing a national government and security forces was not going to work. We needed a strategy that dealt with the problem from a local level, recognizing, as had Chairman Mao, that insurgents must swim among the people like fishes in order to survive. Captain Patriquin knew this and continued his efforts to convince others that the proper way to combat an insurgency is getting out and swimming and living with the fishes ourselves as well. Although he wrote many insightful, rigorously reasoned papers on the significance of culture on our efforts in both Afghanistan and Iraq, he will be best remembered for his brutally simple PowerPoint presentation on counterinsurgency. It walks you right down the garden path of mistakes we made and points out just how to fix them. Problem identified, solution offered. It's been just over a year since Captain Patriquin and two others were killed in an IED blast, and things then were about as bleak as they had ever been. I doubt he would have ventured to predict the amazing turnaround that has happened over that year. Counterinsurgency is a long war battle. But I truly hope where he sits that he can see the seeds he planted with a few stick figures bearing the fruits of security and hope for the Iraqi people. Now let's take a look at this famous PowerPoint presentation. This is an American soldier. We'll call him Joe. Joe wants to win in Al-Anbar, but sometimes it seems like other people don't share that idea. How can Joe win in Al-Anbar? By fighting the insurgents? This is Joe with all his gear on. It weighs 80 pounds. He can't fight insurgents very well in all this gear. Survive attacks? Yeah. Fight well? No. Have you ever tried to climb a 6-foot wall in the middle of the night with 80 pounds of gear so you can sneak up on insurgents? Joe has. It's hard, and it makes him sad when the insurgents have already run away because they heard him and his squad coming 3 blocks away. This is Mohammed. He's in the Iraqi army. He is from Baghdad, and he has a lot of the same problems that Joe has in Anbar, except all the people here hate him. On the right is an insurgent. He is bad. On the left is an Iraqi man who is not an insurgent, but is scared of them. He doesn't necessarily like Joe, but he doesn't want to hurt him, and he does want to protect his family, but he's afraid of the insurgents. What? There's Joe and Mohammed. They don't know if these are good Iraqis or bad Iraqis. What to do? This is a group of insurgents. They like chaos and power. They get it by sawing heads off of and intimidating good Iraqis. This is a sheikh. They've been leading the people of this area for approximately 14,000 years. In spite of many, many conquering armies trying to remove him, this man and his family have been involved in the politics here since recorded time began. What's that in Joe's hand? Oh, a transitional authority law. It was written by the CPA, 25-year-olds from Texas, and Paul Bremer. And it says no sheikhs, only elected government. That's okay, says the sheikh. Can I have some contract work? These guys, however, can win elections if they want. More importantly, they can make good Iraqis not vote and control ministries and other government offices. Smart insurgents. Alhamdulillah, they say, that the Americans can't tell us from the innocent Iraqis. Poor Joe can't tell the terrorists from the good Iraqis. Neither can Mohammed. This is the sheikh with his militia. Militias are bad, but they just protect my family and tribe, says the sheikh. Let's have chai. In order to protect their families, many young men have resisted joining the Iraqi army because they might be sent elsewhere in Iraq while the security suffers in their home areas. Iraqis hate even the thought of their families suffering while they're gone. Come to think of it, Joe feels the same way. The Sheikh and Joe drink chai. Good chai. Joe says militias are bad, but Iraqi police are good. Would the Sheikh let his men join the Iraqi police? Yes. Yes, he will. Iraqi police stay in their local areas and can effectively defeat murder and intimidation campaigns by their presence, unlike the Iraqi army, which might send him somewhere far away. Remember the militia? Now half go to police school, while half protect their families. Then they come back and they're police. Then the other half goes to school. Now, can you tell the difference between the insurgent, the normal Iraqis, and the Iraqi policeman? Kind of. Don't worry, because the Iraqi policeman can tell the difference, and the insurgent knows that. You see, that's why he's sad. The terrorist is sad, he just got caught. Joe is happy, the normal Iraqi is happy, the Iraqi policeman is happy, and the Sheikh is happy. The Sheikh brings more sheikhs. More sheikhs bring more men. Joe realizes that if he'd done this 3 years ago, maybe his wife would be happier, and he'd have been home more. Mohammed gets to meet the sheikhs. They realize he's not such a bad guy, which is good for Iraq. Joe grows a mustache, because he realizes that Iraqis like people with mustaches and have a hard time trusting people without one. Everyone wins, except terrorists, which is okay, because terrorists suck. And now, more than a year since he made that presentation and gave his life, we can see the results of his and all the others' efforts in Al Anbar and the rest of Iraq. So thank you, sir, from all of us, and Godspeed.